Family of James Mellenthin, the 35-year-old who died during a McDonough County Sheriff's deputy-involved high-speed chase, is now taking legal action against the county. The family met with lawyers from the Joliet-based firm Spesia Taylor this morning in Macomb. WGEM's Dylan Smith was there. So, Dylan, what action are they taking exactly?
Daniel, the family is seeking damages for wrongful death stemming from the crash that was exactly 9 months and 3 days ago. They say the aim of this lawsuit against McDonough County is to end high-speed pursuits once and for all.
This is the road where McDonough County Sheriff's Deputy Evan Schmalzoff pursued 35-year-old James Mellenthin. What's left is a cross in Mellenthin's memory. Almost 9 months ago to the day, their two cars made contact, sending Mellenthin off the road.
Deputy Schmalzoff caused deliberate physical contact with the rear left quarter panel of the Mellenthin Pontiac.
The Mellenthin's lawyer, John Spesia, says the chase reached speeds up to 140 miles an hour. In May, McDonough County State's Attorney Matt Quacala announced Schmalzoff would not face criminal charges after an investigation was launched by the Illinois Appellate Prosecutor's Office. Quacala says he doesn't know anything about this lawsuit because he hasn't been served yet and wouldn't comment further. But Mellenthin's family thinks otherwise.
My son, James Mellenthin, would have turned 36 years old 10 days ago. Instead, I celebrated with his 3 younger children and the rest of his family.
The family's 46-page complaint mentions 3 other high-speed chases Schmalzoff was a part of in the last 2 years. After a 2004 deputy-involved fatal crash that settled for about $4 million in 2019, Mellenthin's mother, Tammy, says this is the last straw.
Our hope is that when sheriff deputies are held accountable, no family will ever have to mourn a death of their loved one.
Sheriff Nick Pettigrew also hasn't heard of the lawsuit, having no comment either. Here, Spesia says the case will end in a jury trial, but it's far too early to tell when.
The tragic death of James Mellenthin was, unfortunately, highly predictable.
And the family's complaint says Schmalzoff wasn't asked to assist Macomb police, who originally were involved in the case. They claim that was a violation of the sheriff's office's policies, and you could read the full complaint online at WGEM.com. Daniel?
All right, thank you, Dylan. And Spesia says no dollar amount has been attached to the lawsuit yet.